Hey class, it's Ashley and I'm back with another mentoring moment. And today I'm excited to talk to you about or remind you to stop going above and beyond at work. Too often, I see professional women burning themselves out, completely overwhelmed, exhausted, angry, frustrated, resentful, because they are constantly going above and beyond at work. And let me know if that sounds like you. Just throw some hearts up on the screen if you constantly find yourself going above and beyond at work, constantly doing the most, doing more than they ask you to do, trying your hardest, making sure that you're recognized, making sure that all your, T's are crossed and your I's are dotted and that you're doing everything that you're asked to do and you're taking on additional projects and you're training new team members and you're just like literally doing everything to be recognized, to be seen in your work, to be acknowledged, for people at work to see you as valuable. I know that, yes, truly going the extra mile, right? There are so many professional women who find themselves constantly going above and beyond, doing the most, doing more than what's asked of them. And I often see that professional women feel like that's what they have to do to get ahead. That's what they need to do to make more money and have more impact at work. That's what they need to do to get the raise, to get the promotion, to get the new job. They believe that they have to go above and beyond in their career. They believe that they have to do the most, that they have to show and prove, that they have to put their head down and do the work and make sure that people recognize them in their industry. And I will tell you, as a mentor, as a woman who's worked for nearly 15 years in corporate, nonprofit, and educational leadership, a woman who served hundreds of women across a number of different industries, I will tell you that going above and beyond is not a successful career strategy. Going above and beyond, burning yourself out, doing the most, striving to be seen at work is not a successful career strategy. In fact, it's not a strategy at all. You literally are burnt out, overwhelmed, resentful, angry, frustrated, disappointed because you are constantly going above and beyond, and either one of two things are happening, right? And it's probably because you feel like, listen, I'm going above and beyond for this organization. I'm here early. I come in late. I do everything around here. I'm helping everybody. They don't value me. They don't see me, right? You're frustrated because you're like, I'm going above and beyond. I'm doing more in this organization than anybody. I don't phone it in. I'm not fake. I'm not phony. I do the work. I show up for the client, the customer, the student. I'm doing the work. I'm going above and beyond and nobody's recognizing me. No one sees my expertise. I'm not being paid well for my work. And let me know if that's resonating, right? Like a lot of people might be experiencing that, right? Like I feel like I'm going above and beyond and no one's seeing me, right? No one's seeing my value. No one's recognizing my expertise. And I see this with a lot of high achieving women. Somewhere along the line, someone told you in order to grow, in order to be successful, in order to advance your career, you got to go above and beyond. But I'm here to tell you to stop it. Right now, stop going above and beyond. I want to interrupt the going above and beyond cycle. Because when you go above and beyond, it starts to set a really bad precedent within your organization, within your company, with your supervisor, that you'll do whatever it takes to get it done, that you'll go without extra pay, that you'll go without breaks and holidays and vacations, that you'll go without a lunch break, that you'll go without support and help and a team, that you'll get it done, right? And your get her done attitude, your I'm a hard worker, I'll get it done attitude is actually ruining your career. Your hard work, I'm a get her done attitude has everyone else dumping their work on you and coming to you with, well, she'll get it done, never appropriately compensating you for getting it done. Right? It's your I'm going to get it done attitude that's enabling the organization to continue to underpay you, undervalue you, and underappreciate you because they know you'll get it done. They know that you'll go above and beyond. What I really want to invite you into as a mentor is to stop going above and beyond. Because when you're going above and beyond, that says one of two things. One, often what happens is that no one asks you to go above and beyond. right? No one even asked you to do that. You just doing the most. You just out here, well, this got to be done. This got to be done. It's got to be perfect. And I got to do this and I got to do that, right? Like you are constantly putting yourself in a space of it's got to get done. That means I have to go above and beyond. And maybe nobody even asked you to do all of that. Or two, when they did ask you to do it, you didn't set the appropriate boundary that says, I don't have the capacity, the scope, the team, the budget to do all of that. So what would you like me to take off my plate so that I can take on this new work that you're asking me to do? Additionally, it says that you don't trust yourself enough to just do your own job without putting on extra. It says that you don't believe in yourself and your ability to do the work. So you're going above and beyond to overcompensate for your skill set. Right? When you take on everything, when you have a get her done attitude, when you gonna get it done by any means necessary, when you're the go-to person, but you're not being paid like the go-to person, then they're going to keep coming to you, dumping on you and not helping you advance your life and your career in the ways that you desire because you're not commanding that of your organization, of your supervisor, of your team. When you go above and beyond at work, that's a signal that you don't have boundaries at work. That you are constantly doing whatever it takes to get it done, but they're not doing whatever it takes to pay you well for your expertise. And so instead of going above and beyond, instead of burning yourself out, instead of experiencing constant overwhelm and exhaustion and frustration and resentment because you're going above and beyond, I want you to pause that strategy. I want you to pause that desire to want to do the most and do it all and be a perfectionist and get it done. I just want you to lean into your own expertise that I'm going to do the work well. I'm not going to burn myself out. I'm not going to overwhelm myself. I'm not going to go above and beyond. I'm just going to do the work. And when you feel the need to go above and beyond, I want you to check in with yourself, right? I literally want you to check in with yourself. And I want you to ask yourself, am I doing this to overcompensate for a feeling of inadequacy? Am I going above and beyond to prove to people that I deserve to be here, that I deserve to be paid well? And if the answer to any of that is yes, then you need to ask for a raise and promotion. You don't need to go above and beyond. If you constantly find yourself trying to go above and beyond, that might be a sign that you're overcompensating for some inadequacies in your life and in your career. If you have to strive to show up at work, if you have to strive to be seen in your industry, if you have to strive, you have to go above and beyond for people to value your expertise, that just means that your expertise isn't well articulated. That simply means that you aren't articulating your value in a meaningful way. At work, I never have to go above and beyond. I do my work and I speak to my expertise on a regular basis. I don't have to exhaust myself. I don't have to burn myself out. I don't have to stress and overwhelm myself. I can show up in my full authenticity with the expertise that I have, and I can speak to that expertise in a meaningful way. And my employer is pleased with my work. They're pleased with my performance. And even if I desire to go into another employer, I can speak to my expertise without ever having to say I was going above and beyond. Too often, I see high achieving professional women going above and beyond and flat out exhausting themselves when no one even asked them to do that. You're going above and you're beyond and everyone's literally like, why are you doing so much? You seem tired. Maybe you should, take a break. Maybe you should take a couple days off. People are like wondering like, why are you so exhausted? Why are you so overwhelmed? Why are you so stressed? And you think, well, I just got to go above and beyond. I just got to put my head down and do the work. I just got to be a perfectionist. Your feeling that I need to go above and beyond is a misconception. You are valuable already. Your expertise, your knowledge, your skill set is valuable already. And your constant need, your constant desire to want to go above and beyond is you overcompensating for a lack of confidence in your own skill set. Or it speaks to the fact that you haven't set appropriate boundaries with your organization. And so they are constantly putting you in a position where you feel like you have to go above and beyond. And that above and beyond spirit, that nature that you feel like you have to do the most, you have to go above and beyond, you gotta outperform everyone else, is overcompensating for your lack of confidence in your own belief in yourself. And I often see this particularly in women and in minority women. Black and brown women particularly suffer from this, right? We're the only ones in our workplace. Often maybe we're marginalized in the larger community, right? Maybe our organization is not seeing us and not valuing us in a meaningful way. And so instead of us going and finding a new job, a new role, a new organization that really values our expertise, we go above and beyond in an organization that doesn't even value us. We go above and beyond for a manager who doesn't even see us. We go above and beyond and we burn ourselves out and we overwhelm ourselves and we exhaust ourselves so that we're no good to our industry, ourselves, our families, our communities, because we're so burnt out going above and beyond for an organization that doesn't even value our expertise. When you are doing work that's fulfilling, when you're working for an organization that values you, they would never allow you to burn yourself out. They wouldn't allow you to exhaust yourself. They would pause and say, hey, it looks like you're going above and beyond here. Do you need some support? Do you need some help? Do you need an additional team member? Do you need a larger budget? How can we restructure this work so that we can help you be successful and help you thrive without burning yourself out and overwhelming you, right? No longer can we continue to stay in organizations where we're completely burnt out, where we're completely overwhelmed, where we're completely stressed out, and wear the badge of honor of, I'm going above and beyond. Stop going above and beyond. What would happen if you actually just did your job and that's it? Radical concept here, radical concept. But what if you just did your job and didn't do anything else? What if you stopped going above and beyond and you actually just leaned into your expertise? Right? What if you just did the work that was required of you and knew that that work was enough? What if you had the confidence to believe that the work that you produce is enough? And I'll tell you, I know that I am followed by some of the highest achieving professional women on the internet, right? The women who follow me, the folks who are watching this live, the women who will watch this replay, you all are some of the smartest, the brightest, the most high achieving, successful women in the world. And I know that my community is tight. And so I know if you just did your job, sis, you would already be at 110%. Why are you burning yourself out to get to 160 when nobody even asked you to do all of that? Or when you didn't set the appropriate boundary to say, I don't have the capacity to do that. You don't pay me enough to do that. That's outside of the scope of my work. No longer can we let ourselves, our companies, our managers, and our supervisors gaslight us to believe that we're not enough, that we're not doing enough, that we're not valuable enough, that our work isn't meaningful enough. That's not true of you. You know that you're doing the work. But you gaslight yourself, you convince yourself that it's not good enough, and then you overcompensate to the point that you're exhausting yourself. And now you can't even serve the clients, the customers, the students, the community that you're meant to serve because you're burnt out, overwhelmed, and completely exhausted. So I'm here to tell you today, I want you to interrupt this cycle and this desire to go above and beyond. I just want you to do your job. I want you to let go of the misconception that you have to do more to get more. We need to be strategic. It's not about doing more. It's not about, well, I got to do this. I got to take on this committee. I got to do this project. I got to onboard this person. I got to do this, and this. And hopefully soon they'll see me and they'll value me and they'll pay me for my expertise. And I hope and pray they will. And I hope they see me. And I hope they value me. And I hope that they care. No, we're not hoping. We're not praying. Maybe we're praying, but we're not hoping. We're not wishing, right? We are leaning into our expertise. We're learning to speak to our value in a meaningful way. And we're working for organizations that see that value and are excited to pay us well for our expertise. And if you're currently not working in an organization that sees your value and is excited to pay you well for your expertise, then let me mentor you. Because I'm excited to help you identify the hundreds of thousands of organizations out there that will see your value and that will pay you well for your expertise and that won't require you to go above and beyond and exhaust yourself to the point of frustration and anger and resentment because they don't even see you and value you for the work that you're doing. If your work regularly requires you to burn yourself out and exhaust yourself to the point that you're not eating, you're not sleeping, you're overeating, you're snapping on people at work and at home, if that's a regular occurrence in your life and career, it's time to get some help. It's time to get some help. Now, certainly, there are periods of busy time, right? For folks who work in, retail management or sales, right? This might be a busy time. Or for my mentees who are working accounting and tax, tax accounts and things like that, that January, February, March, April time might be a busy time. But if it's an everyday occurrence that you have to go above and beyond, that you've got to give 110%, as if your 100 isn't good enough. This is not high school. We're not taking AP classes. This is real life, y'all. This is real life. And if you constantly find yourself exhausted and overwhelmed, if you constantly find yourself in a state of, I got to go above and beyond, then you're working for an organization that doesn't value your expertise in its raw materials. And I want you to interrogate if you are perpetuating that lack of value by believing that you constantly have to go above and beyond, that your best isn't good enough, that you just showing up and doing the work isn't good enough. And if you are a woman or a woman of color, in particular, if you're a Black woman, I invite you to interrogate that feeling that I got to be twice as good to get half as much, because it's a lie from the pits of hell. You don't have to be twice as good. You don't have to work twice as hard. You don't have to come in early and stay late. Me being a Black woman doesn't mean I have to exhaust myself to meet some imaginary standard that someone probably doesn't even have of me. And I won't play into the lie that I have to do that. And if you are currently playing into that lie, I invite you to release yourself. I invite you to release yourself from the lie that would tell you that you have to be better than some imaginary standard. Your best is more than enough. I first invite you to believe that of yourself, and then I invite you to make sure that your work matches that. Do not allow an organization to gaslight you into the belief that you are not good enough, that your work is not valuable enough, and that your impact is unknown. Because the truth is that you are valuable, that your expertise is immense, and that you can use what you have to get what you want. And if your life and career does not align with that, right? If currently in your life, you're like, Ashley, I don't know if I can use what I have to get what I want. I don't know how to advance my career. Then I'm excited to serve you in mentorship. If you are constantly in a state of going above and beyond, I want you to apply to the Mentor Me Accelerator today at mentor-me.org. This will give us an opportunity to talk about what's going on in your career, what's underlying that's causing you to feel like you constantly have to go above and beyond, and start to develop and implement a strategy where you can invite some peace, some joy, and some ease into your life and your career. You should not be in a constant state of overwhelm. You should not be in a constant state of going above and beyond. Ease is available to you, but only if you advocate for yourself from a place of ease. Only if you reject overwhelm. Only if you start to learn how to set some boundaries with your employer so that you're not constantly overwhelmed and overworked. Because the truth is, if you constantly keep going above and beyond and your employer doesn't recognize it in the ways that you desire, what happens, right? You get resentful. You get angry. You start snapping at people. And then you get resentful and you get angry. And then you snap on the wrong person and you ruin your reputation. And now you're the angry Black woman, or you're crazy, right? And even though that's not true and that's a horrible stereotype, you've maybe perpetuated it and you've played into it because you didn't set appropriate boundaries with your organization. And you didn't get out when you knew you should have gotten out. Do not stay stuck in a role that would end up ruining you, your self-esteem, your self-worth, and your reputation in the industry. Don't let that be you. Don't fall for that trap. Get the help that you need now so that we can set in motion a strategy that's going to help you advance your career where you don't have to constantly feel like you got to go above and beyond. I invite you to apply to work with me today. You can do so right on my website at mentor-me.org. I'm excited to help you. I'm excited to help you think differently about your career and release this expectation and this misconception that you're supposed to go above and beyond. You don't have to do that. You don't have to exhaust yourself. You don't have to be a special unicorn. You can show up in your full and authentic self and do meaningful work and drive results at work and be paid well for your expertise. And I can show you how. Apply to the accelerator today at mentor-me.org. Thanks so much for watching. Talk soon.